All right, so let's begin. So I just want to run over some of the rules that we did last day. So on AP is return A, first term A, and then we keep adding on D, right? We said that to find any term, we could use T to the N is equal to A plus N minus 1D. Right, so you should have this table, so you'd have to write it. And we said for GP, first term is A, and then you keep multiplying by R. The general term is AR to the N minus 1. And then we said that to get D, you could just subtract 2 consecutive terms. To get R, we divide 2 consecutive terms. All right, that's where we stopped last day. Now, if I give you a long AP, we have to be able to sum all the terms. All right, so our next heading that we're going to take a look at is the sum of the first n terms. Right, sum of the first n terms. Right, first n terms. Right, then we will combine everything and solve simultaneously and do all of that, right? So good. So suppose I gave you all these terms. Suppose I gave you 1, 5, 9, let's keep adding on 4, right? Suppose I gave you all these terms and I said, find the sum of the first 20 terms. Find the sum of the first 20 terms, right? Of course, you can do it the long way and add up all 20 terms, or you can use a nice formula, all right? And if you have an AP, the formula looks like this. The sum, if you have a AP formula looks like this. The sum of the first n terms is equal to n over 2 by 2a plus n minus 1 multiplied by t. Right? That's the formula for AP. Or if you have the last term, you can use this formula. N over 2 by a plus L. Right? That L there is the last term. And if you have a GP, you have 2 versions of the formula. S to the N is equal to A by 1 minus R to the power of N all over 1 minus R. But you'd only use this formula if R is less than 1. And then, but really between 1 and minus 1. And next one, S to the N is A, you switch it around. R to the N minus 1 over R minus. This is if R is more than 1. So add those 4 formulae to your list, and then let's take a look at how to work with it, right? Add those to your list, right? Ready? All right, so those are all the formulas that we need to learn for APs and GPs for now. We have one more time. Or we will do that today. Anybody write this? Right, so. Right online, so I'm going to show you how to use these formulas now, right? Of course, once you see the term find the sum, it means that you're going to use these formulas. Shannon, what's going on, right? Shannon? I just say it was coming. And you say on the play game. All right. All right. Anybody writing? No? Forgetting lessons. Bag home. Change this story now. Anybody writing? No? Let's stick on this thing. All right. So let's start. Let's start with marker going. Right. So let's start, right? So we start with a few examples. I want to show you how to use the formula, right? So number one, let's say I gave you an AP, right? So I gave you an AP. Just both. Suppose I gave you an AP and the first term is 11 and the common difference is 3. And I want you to find, suppose I ask you to find sum of the first 20 terms. Right? All you're doing, go to AP, look for the sum formula. So we know we're going to use S to the n is equal to n over 2 by 2a plus n minus 1. Right? So you want to find 20. So n is 20, right? So it's 20 over 2. 2 by a is 11. So it's 2 by 11 plus n minus 1. 20 minus 1 by d. D is 3. Go take calculator somewhere again. You have seen okay online? Nice, Samir. Samir, and no CSEC attendance. So good. Samir, Shannon, and somebody else. Right, put in the calculator. But you can simplify it if you want to. So that'll be 10 by 22, 10 by 22 plus 19 multiplied by 3. Right, I see in 790. Yeah, 790. 790. That's okay. So that's just how to use the formula, right? Of course, it won't be that simple where you tell you what it is, and then you have to figure it out. Number 2, GP, right? Suppose I gave you a GP. Suppose I gave you a GP and the first term is 50 and R is a half, right? And I want you to find, let's not go too far, right? Let's find the 6th term. Let's find the sum of the 6th term. Right? Let's find sum of the first 6 terms. Right? So just do my favor. Which formula are we going to use? Right. The one with the 1 minus. What's the reason for that? Right. R is less than 1. Right? So we use this version here. Right? So it will be A by 1 minus r to the n all over 1 minus r. So S6 is equal to 50 by 1 minus 6, 1 minus 1 half, all to the power of n, which is 1 minus a half. Are you okay with that? So let's plug in the values, right? And take your time and work this out. So it will be 50 by 1 minus 1 over 2 to the power 6 all over 1 minus a half is a half. Sharp people, they might get a little trouble to work it out, but you can work out here first, then here, then here. Casio, you put that straight in your calculator. Alright, test them what you get. That's the beauty of a Casio. You can put it straight in your calculator. You can put this in your calculator and get the answer. Right, so you can put that directly in the calculator and get the answer. And 8.44?
Yeah.
Yeah, so correct. Good. You get it, same thing, 19.4. Take it back and- 97. 97, right? Or 90. Take it back again. Huh? Check it back again. Yeah, what you all got online? Message answers. Any questions? Oh, wait, let me just check it out and see. Darian, Ariana, message answers, right? 98.4. Any more answers yet? Darian, Ariana? Yeah, correct, Malini. Everybody had 98.4? Yeah. 98.4 Sahara, nice. Shannon, nice. Paraj, you got that? 90.4. Paraj, yeah, no. So it looks like 98.4, right? Right? You're used to writing two significant figures, right? All the answers, right? If you have to round up to two significant figures. All right, let me steal some from here. Well, this is the last topic in this section, right? So after this, we go back and revise all the others, right? With some questions, something, right? All right, let's go again. The integers, number three. Number three. The integers from 12 to 55 are added. The integers from 12 to 55 are added. What's this one? The integers from 12 to 55 are added. Full stop. What is their sum? The integers from 12 to 55 are added. What is their sum? So here's what you do from first. Is it an AP or GP? AP? AP? Are you sure? Right? If it's an AP, first term is what? 12, and common difference is what? You can figure it out. What would the common difference be? Anybody online can tell them or guess? The first term is 12. Last term is 55, right? And they said all the integers. So what's the second term? After 12 is 13. And then 14. So the common difference is what? 1. So we know the first term, right? So for this example, we know it's an AP. The first term is 12. You all said the common difference is 1. The last term is 55. I need a little help here. We can't use the formula because we're missing what? Right? We're missing something. Shannon, what we missing? We have A, we have D, and we have L. Right? Well, not TN, but you're missing N. Okay? Everybody can help me? 12 to 55. Typo, BB, BM. What's up? MB. My bad. Huh? Yeah, you said typo. My bad. Yeah, I need some help. How I get N? How am I getting N? $12 to 55. You get the minus. You close it. A from N. It's L. You closed it. You closed it. Okay, so tell me what E minus L. Well, L minus E. Yeah, how much is that? Right. Let's check and make sure, because sometimes it ends up leaving out values, right? Let's pretend I asked you to find the sum for 12 to 20. If you minus, how much is that? 8, right? So let's see. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17, 18, 19, 20. How much is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So when you do last minus E, you're missing one value out. That's okay. So it's always good to check it and see. Right? So you had a +1. The reason is that sometimes you don't count the 20 or the 12. You don't count the 12. Right? But 12 is a number that you have to add. So therefore, answer is 44. Very good, Sahara. So therefore, L minus E, and you have to add 1. So sometimes you have to check it and see, right? Don't assume. Just do a small sample and just check and see, right? Go ahead. Find the sum now. Find the sum from 12 to 55. Diane, you okay with that? All right. Work it out for me. Papa, you. What shall I get? So you find in sum of 44. Because we have the last term, I think it's easier just to put A plus L. Right? You'll get the same answer, but so that's 12 plus 55, and we get 1474. Yeah, nice. Let's go again. So you see, if you look at that question, right, they did not tell you it's a AP and it's a AP or GP. They did not tell you was A, they didn't tell you was D, they didn't tell you was N, right? So that's what make AP and GP a little tricky sometimes. Right, Grace? You okay with that? Right, so sometimes that's what make it hard. You have to figure out those things, right? Sometimes they use real life scenarios where it's a bank and again interest or return. You have to figure out what it is, right? Let's try our next one. Any questions online? Samir, any questions? Good. All right, let's try number 2. Just now I was looking for a nice worded one here. All right, find the sum of the first 10 terms of. Find the sum of the first 10 terms of 1/8, 1/4, 1/2. ... Find the sum of the first 10 terms. That break there. How's that? Find the sum of the first 10 terms. 1/8, 1/4, 1/2. You have to decide what it is. Is it a AP? Is it a GP? What do I have? Try it quick. What y'all think? AP or GP? GP? Well, what is R? R is 2. Very good. Very good, Shannon. Right, it's a GP, R is 2. Trying to finish the format, we'll take a look at it. Right quick. Let's see what you got. It'll be nice to watch other look it out now. Choose the right version. Remember, R is more than 1. And it's something important. R to the power of n, right? Yeah. All right, let's see. Right, let me see what we have online here. We only have one answer from Kalia, correct. What the rest of people? Baraj, Samira, where are your answers? Kaylin, three significant figures, huh? So A is equal to 1/8, R is equal to 1/4 divided by 1/8. Olia, whenever you're doing this, don't assume it's a GP. Check and make sure all the values are the same, right? So divide a quarter and 1/8, divide a half and 1/4. If both of them giving you 2, then it's a GP, right? So now they want us to find sum of the first 10 terms, right? So that'll be A by R to the n minus 1 over R minus 1. So A is 1/8 by 2 to the power of 10 minus 1 all over 2 minus 1. And that looks like 128. Two significant figures, right? 128. Anybody struggling online? Correct, Jamie. Kaylin will round it off, right? Right, I didn't get answers from Sahara. Richard, what's going on, Richard? Malini, check back, you working, right? Where you get N from question asked that, Shannon? The question says find the sum of the first 10 terms. Oh, you didn't hear the question. Okay, I wonder what. Right, Shannon, stop playing game, right? Yeah, we headset on, but he not here. Faraj, 128 Sahara, nice. Faraj and Samira, I didn't get your answers. And Richard. Richard, you there? Right? Just looking hard, Richard. All right. All right, Richard said not looking hard, so I want to give you one that looking a little bit hard. Right? Slightly harder, right? Actually, I'm gonna give you one more easy one. Last easy one, right? Did I give you solving time of the team last week? Can I give you any examples of that? All right, number 3. Given a GP, so I'm telling you the GP, right? Given a GP 12, 8, 5 and a third. 12, 8, 5 and a third. Find the sum of the first 8 terms. Wait, so the question, yeah. Given a GP, I wrote it there for you. There's question 5. Oh, sorry. Given a GP 12, 8, 5 and a third. Dot, right? Find the sum of the first 8 terms. Find the sum of the first 8 terms. Type those who online, please send answers. Everybody, yeah? What y'all got to E? E is what? 12. What y'all got for R? 2 over 2 over 3. Nice. Take your time. Right, stand on right? What you got? 9.6. 34.6. Yeah. 34.6. Okay. 6. Right, so I can see answers here. Let me check out online. Samira, give me something there. Shannon, check back yours. Kalia. Faraj, I didn't get yours. Richard, I didn't get yours. Did I? Molini, what you got? Ariane? Alejandra, I didn't get all your one. Come on, Olia. Send your values now, please. Samira looking correct. Jamie looking correct. Just waiting on Alejandra and Ariana and Richard. All right, Darren. Are you not getting it? Okay. So take a look at it. So you're seeing it's kind of lost from. All right, so those who get in trouble in the calculator, right? So we already know it wouldn't be minus Shannon. We already know the GP. So it means we have two formulas to choose from. S to the n is A by 1 minus R to the n. Or we have the formula S to the n is equal to A by R to the n minus 1 over R minus 1. Now, the question told us what is A. Well, we can see what is A. Right? So we know what is A and we know what is R. Okay? So we know what is A and we know what is R. And the question said somebody put n terms. So n is 8. Right? Since R is less than 1, it means that we're going to choose this version of the formula here. So we're going to choose A by 1 minus R to the n over 1 minus R. Right? Alejandra, you okay with why we chose that formula? Yeah? So all we're going to do now is just plug in the values. So that'll be 12 by 1 minus R. R is 2/3. All to the power, right? All to the power of 8. Right? All over 1 minus R. Right, so I suspect some people are struggling to put this in the calculator, right? So here what to do. 12 by 1 minus, go take calculator and find 2/3 to the power of 8. Tell me what you get. Right, so you're pressing 2 fraction 3 in brackets and put to the power of 8. Use Y, half a triangle length. Fraction. That's all right. 256 over 65. Right, good. All right, all over 1 minus 2/3 is 1/3. Now go take calculator and put in 1 minus 256 over 6561. Tell me what you get. Was 1 minus 2561. 6305. Right. And now put 12 multiplied by that divided by 1 fraction 3. Right? Divided by 1 fraction 3. And you should get your answer. What is 34.6? Right, check it and see. Alejandro, you're getting 34.6 now. Right, so let's do it step by step in the calculator, right? Right, good job, Malini. Sahara to the 8.4. Check it back one more time. You should get close to that. You should get a little closer to 34. Alejandro, what you got to now? If you have a sharp arm Sahara, make sure and put brackets, right? Right. Good job, Alejandro. Which head are you getting it now? Yeah, you getting it? Okay. Next one, Barrage. What about you, Ariana? How you coping there? Okay. Yeah, that could work. Clear, yeah. 34.7 meter. All right. That could work as well. All right. I want to give you a harder one, but let me just make sure everybody getting this, right? GPs are the harder questions because of how the formula is constructed, right? The little fractions. Chris, you okay? Yeah, Hossein, you're getting this, right? All right, let's just try one more like this. Last one like this, right? Just want to make sure that you're okay with the formula. Find the sum of the first 10 terms. Right, so we're just getting used to putting it in. Again, if you have a Casio from the first line, you can put that in the Casio exactly as it is. Just put it in. Well, oh, so yeah, yeah. Didn't form right? Right, so you should have this one already. So A is 64. R is what? R is a quarter, so R is less than 1. And N is how much? 10. Right, those are online message answers. Let's see what you get. So that'll be S to the 10 is equal to, use the right formula, A by 1 minus R to the N over 1 minus R. Right, so it's important that we choose the right formula, right? If you have to memorize it, think one and we'll give one the number. I'll check it. And I'll just give you one. The basic formula. No, we think they'll give you some. They'll give it T to the N. Right? Yeah. I think, yeah, right, so work it out. How is it 10? Because they asked for the sum of the first 10 terms. Right? Because they asked for the sum of the first 10 terms. That's how you know N is 10. Right? So A is 64, 1 minus a quarter to the power of 10, all over 1 minus a quarter. Give it an S again and I would only give you one version, right? R is more than 1. Okay, good. I give one R is more than 1. You can work with both of them, but yes. Yeah. Right, nice Ariana here, but it will work regardless. Right, so I am seeing Richard, what you got? Barrage, what you got there? Correct, Ariana. Correct, Kalia. Correct, Samira. How you get R, you just divide consecutive terms. Correct, Jimian? To get R, you always divide consecutive terms. So 60 divided by 64. Right? That'll give you R. Barrage, how much you got? Darian, correct, Jamian. Kila get you. Barrage, how much you got? I'll get you. Right, I'm looking correct, Malini. Correct, Barrage. So the answer is 85.3. Okay, 85.3. All right, nice job. Aliandra, you got that? Let's do one more. It's a little bit harder, but let's try still. Next week we'll do only hard ones, right? So please remember these rules. Then because it's so hard, I'll give you a break the week after. Yeah. Yeah. I'll still give you a break. I teach kind of Monday and Tuesday. That seems like normal. I'll give a break for the Easter, right? Compose have no lessons in the Easter. That's just compose and 6 of them. Right. Let's try this one here. It's slightly harder. And I'm gonna pick a nice one here for you. Right. The sum, write this down. The sum of 3 consecutive terms of an AP. The sum of 3 consecutive terms of an AP. The sum of 3 consecutive terms of an AP is 18, 1/8, is 1/8, right? And their product, is, and their product is 120. Find these numbers. Find these numbers. Real pressure here. How are we going to find these numbers, right? So all of a sudden they come up with 3 consecutive numbers. Common mistake here that people think the 3 consecutive numbers are this: A, then A plus D, then A plus 2D. But did the question say the first 3 numbers? No, so we can't do this. All right, so we had to figure out something else. I'll give you a little help because the first time we're doing one like this. The sum of the 3 consecutive terms. So let's assume the first term is K. Right? What would the second term be? If the first term is K in an AP, then the second term is what? K plus D. What would the third term be? K plus 2D. And when you add up all 3 of them, it's equal to what? When you add up all 3, it's equal to 18. Can you simplify that? Can you simplify it a little bit? K plus K is, and D plus 2D is, and that's equal to. Can you simplify that a little bit? Can you break it down a little bit again? Divide everything by, and you'll get K plus D is 6. Any questions online? What we did so far? So we made up 3 terms. We started with K and we keep adding D because there's a common difference, right? So we keep adding D. That's okay? And they also said that the product is what? Right? So the product is 120. So K multiplied by K plus D by K plus 2D is 120. So we had to multiply that out. So you're doing 2 brackets at a time. K by K, K squared, K by D, KD. And then you're multiplying that by K plus 2D. All right, of course, I'll help you multiply it out. K squared by K is K cubed. K squared by 2D is 2 K squared D. KD by K, K squared D. And KD by 2D is 2KD squared. All of that is equal to 120. So we can simplify it a little bit. K cubed plus 3K squared D plus 2KD squared is 120. All right. What do we do now? What are we going to do? Write a little bit neater. K cubed plus 3K squared D plus 2KD squared is 120. What are we going to do when you reach there? Any ideas? You'll see that? You have two equations and you have to solve it simultaneously. Right? So you have to solve 1 and 2 simultaneously. All right. I know it's looking hard, but I wanted to try it. Right? Make D the subject. Make D the subject. D is equal to 6 minus K. Right? And substitute in equation 2. So I want you to solve that out for us. Do we have time now? We could do it fast. I'll help you out. K cubed plus 18K squared minus 3K cubed plus 12K minus 2K squared is 120. So we have minus 2K cubed. 18 minus 2 is 16K squared. Plus 12K minus 120 is 0. And then you solve for K. Anybody can help me and calculate up. Right, so this is a very hard one. We have to take all the wording and you have to create your equations. Right, there's a kind of hard fellow here. You want to get it for homework easy. A sentence group already, right? Not easy, easier. But the main thing for me is that you have to understand how to develop these equations here. Those 2 steps, right? How much you get? A cubic, right? Check it for me now, please. Right, go to polynomial 3, yeah? It's a cubic this time. Much here. Minus. Alone. Process again because I get 3 answers. All fractions, all decimals. Put in A, B, C, and D. All right, now I'll work it over. I feel I multiply something bad. Can you all check it over for homework? Come on. Check over the multiplication and see if I multiply right. Supposed to get a whole number for one of them. I feel I multiply wrong somewhere. All right, so let's check it back. Check back here for me. Watch here. Check back this part here for me. Multiply it and see it again, this equation here. and then redo the substitution. I will do it now, but I have a next class. I'll do it now and I will send it on the group.